I made it! Triumphantly, I am here. 2 hours late. Hopefully, some of you are here and ready to learn. Do you feel like there's not enough time in the day, too? Would you like an 8th day in the week? Does this resonate with you? Do you feel like there's always a time crunch? I definitely feel it before I go live. It's like there's just not enough time. The anxiety creeps up, the doubt, the fear of something going wrong. It just compounds. And that is when I get myself in the present moment as best I can. Sometimes it's difficult. If we're in crisis mode, it's challenging, but in those moments is when we can develop the skill the best, the strongest, right? With that adversity, we can definitely take it to heart. Let me hear from you down below. Do you feel like there's not enough time in a day too? Do you feel like there's not enough time in a day too? Like 24 hours is not enough, right? Throw a little sleep on there and then you're just really going to be missing out. Well, good news. I have the solution. 3 ways a present moment perspective empowers you to accomplish more in less time. What am I talking about? Present moment perspective. That is the solution to creating or accomplishing more in less time. Be here now is the most common way to relate to the present moment. A present moment perspective is being in the present moment. Does that make sense? Let me get some feedback from you. Make sure that we're on the same page in regards to the moment, the present moment. Is this a familiar term for you? Have you had an experience of it for yourself? My goal is to train people to deliberately get themselves into the present moment and stay there and maintain that present moment perspective. Woohoo! Hey there, how's it going? Thanks for joining. I know it might look like I just push go or record or live or one of those buttons and here I am just doing nothing but talking to the camera and off of the cuff. And yes, there's some of that going on, but let me be honest with you, and this goes for any lives that have a format to them, have a structure to them, have a purpose to them. There's a lot of work that goes into these, believe it or not. I pretty much spent a major part of today getting ready for this live. There's all kinds of work that goes into it. And the best way that you can show me that you gain value from this and you appreciate the work that I'm putting in is for, obviously, the simplest way is to make sure that you like and follow, throw some love up there. Definitely, I want to see some comments are great. That interaction, that engagement that helps Facebook recognize what people are interested in. And then we can get these ideas out there to more people, because really this is something I believe humanity as a whole can benefit from. Living in the present moment is where it's at. So please make sure you're liking and following. And I have special love for those of you that actually share this live. Think of the people in your life. Feel into who it is you really care about and whose well-being you take responsibility for, and share this opportunity with them to have an experience of a present moment perspective. Here we go. Oh yeah, for sure. If there's any takeaways, let me know what you're gaining from this video by throwing something down in the comments like hashtag takeaway, hashtag win, insight, nugget. I got to come up with one that's going to be my brand. But for right now, you can put hashtag nugget. That's the one that is simple to remember. So if you gain any value from this video and you want to reinforce that value that you're gaining, then throw hashtag nugget down below and share it with the rest of us so that we can all gain from your awareness. Do, 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 do. You like my humming? I gotta keep you engaged. I don't want you to be sitting there wondering what's happening and why it's taking so long for the next thing to come out of my mouth. It's worth it though. The wait is worth it. As a thank you for attending, I'm randomly giving away a free taste of a present moment perspective. That's a $250 value. Yours for free. If you would like to have a chance to win that, then drop a hashtag found fun down below, and I will scroll through and pick the winner out of those that commented with hashtag found fun, and I'll reach out to you by messenger and set it up. We'll do it over the phone. It'll take maybe like 45 minutes, and I will walk you through a firsthand experience of a present moment perspective. You'll never go back. That's what I like to say. It's life-changing on the most fundamental of levels. So that's what I'm offering for those of you that took the time to hang in and check in and watch this video and learn a little bit more about how we as humans operate, the foundational fundamentals to human consciousness. I know, lots of big long words. Don't be intimidated by my use of vocabulary. See, I did it again. Another long word. Okay. Ta-da! Welcome to the Found Fun Discovery Method. Welcome to the Found Fun Discovery Method. That's the umbrella of my entire program. Part of the beginning stages of that program are the present moment perspective. You might be asking why or how I conjure up that experience for myself and my clients. And basically, let's get rid of that. You know that we're here. Some of you might have seen this before. This is my ever-present diagram of operating from self-awareness. I know it's a little bit complex, but right over here, take a look, and you'll see that in the center of this circle, there's a car wreck. Most people's lives are constant car wrecks. Problem after problem, putting out fire after fire. Can you relate to this existence? Oh, hi there, Esther. Are you on my live? Come on and learn a little bit about self-awareness. Okay, so what am I talking about here? In the center is the car wreck that is most people's lives. Putting out fires, react. And when we start to operate from self-awareness, we naturally relax out of the stress and the trauma, right? Most people are keep it together. Well, when we have self-awareness, we can relax and just take it easy. What happens is we widen out. Relax is I'm getting messages that are distracting me from being present with you as I'm speaking to you right here live today. As we relax, which is a Greek word, which comes from Greek, and relaxera, I believe, is the Greek word, means to quite literally widen out. Have you ever noticed when you relax, you're more aware? You're not so tense. You're not so uptight, right? We talk about anal retentive people, stick up their bum. Those kind of people are not relaxed. And they're definitely not aware. So what are we going to talk about as you widen out from the car wreck that is most of our lives? Because we just don't have skills to manage the internal reality that is responsible for what's happening out here. That's what I believe. Let me know what you believe, because it's important to grasp certain fundamentals to get the most out of the found fun discovery method. One of those fundamentals is I create my reality. Me. I'm responsible. Not them, not her, not him, not the guy upstairs, right? A lot of people love to blame that guy. Well, no. A lot of people like to give that guy credit and blame that guy for the problems, right? He's the problem. He's the champion or the knight in shining armor. Well, what about you? What about this thing? Isn't this play a role at all in the unfoldment of your life experience? I believe it does. I believe I create my reality. And I choose to believe that because I want to have control over who creates my reality. I want that authority in my life. I don't want to give it away. It's yours by birth. It's your birthright. It's your free will. So you might want to do a little inventory right now and just come to Jesus talk. Is that what they call it? Where you get really self-honest with yourself and notice where you have given your power away. Put it outside of yourself rather than taking it back. So yes, foundational. There's fundamentals like I create my reality. And again, another fundamental of that, is I create my reality from the inside out. It starts here and it comes out here. What's happening in here is influencing what's going on out here on a very fundamental level. So if you believe those, I want to hear about it. I want to know what's going on as I burp from my tea here. We're here to explore, right? Let's explore the present moment perspective, a present moment perspective. As we widen out, right? As we widen out in the circle, we end up being more and more able to look back in. Does that make sense? The farther we widen out, the greater the viewpoint, the greater the vantage point, right? In battle, they're always looking for the high ground, right? They always want the high ground. Why is it? Because the perspective is greater from the high ground. And yes, it's also a defensive thing, but most importantly, it's a vantage point. You can see everything that's going on from the high ground. That's why people want it. So when you operate from a present moment perspective, relax out of the painful existence of a self that can't manage its consciousness, then you end up naturally just being able to reflect back in. This is getting off track right here. I can explain it ad nauseum, but at the end of the day, truth be told, it's an experiential process, and it's really only through experience that we truly can understand something. So me talking about it isn't going to help you really understand a present moment perspective. It's something you have to experience. We've all had it. Not deliberately, not on purpose, but I trust that we've all had that experience. I mean, unless you, I don't know, lived in a hole in a cave under a rock, there must have been one moment in your life when it's kind of like an out-of-body experience. You're in the zone, you're in the flow, everything is working out, everything just is smooth sailing. That is the present moment. When everything just goes according to your plan, according to your desires, according to your decisions, your intentions. That's what's awaiting you in the present moment. You can see that the technique that I have developed for empowering people to strengthen their muscle of self-awareness and their muscle of living and operating in the present moment, the here and now. The technique is called new spotting. And I have an offer for those of you that want to take this to the next level. And I'm giving away a free experience of the new spotting technique. At my higher levels, I will actually teach you and train you how to employ the new spotting technique, how to duplicate it, how to basically use it as a tool in your everyday life. It is foundational to have that muscle of self-awareness developed before moving on to the found fun discovery method. After the new spotting technique, there's something I call reorientation. I'll address that in another video, but it's basically those are the three major steps in the found fun discovery method, starting with new spotting, which is all about getting present in the moment, looking around, noticing what you see, endeavoring to the best of your ability to get out of your head and out of your body and into the environment so that you can really experience the fullness and the richness that is the present moment. That's what our senses are here for. They inform us as to what's going on out here. We don't need to check in with the middleman. We don't need to be a mental masturbator and going around thinking 24/7 about everything we're experiencing. Not necessary, folks. I live from a quiet mind, and I'm telling you, it is much more preferable than the average noisy, incessant thinking mind, especially here in America. Maybe that's just a stereotype, but us Americans, man, we think we know it all. We think we got it all figured out, but we're young, dumb, stupid, and we need to do a whole lot of growing up, a whole lot of evolving, a whole lot of maturing. When we're on par with Europe, thousands of years of life experience as a collective consciousness, then maybe we'll be able to guide the world as the leader we are destined to be. But we need to grow up a lot. Again, another tangent. I apologize. Welcome to the Found Fun Discovery Method. All right, I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what's happening in your world and like where you're from too. It's very always interesting to me to hear about where people are tuning in from, because as we know, Facebook is a global platform, and all sorts of people can be tuning into a live. So please drop it down below. Where are you from? Introduce yourself. Where are you watching from? Say hi. I love to start conversations and interact. If you're catching the replay, this is important. Let me know by dropping a hashtag replay down below, and I'll follow up with you. Make sure there's not any questions left unanswered after watching this video. This is the beginning of a journey that you may or may not decide to take. But we got to start talking first. So let me hear from you in the comments. That's amazing. Really? Okay. Here we go. So if you find yourself running out of time, maybe the solution might not be an 8th day of the week. Not only is it seemingly impossible, I mean, what would you do? There's only a set amount of time in a day, so you would just break it up into smaller increments, I guess. Doesn't matter. You can't be creating an extra day in the week. So what's the solution? Living from a present moment perspective. That's the solution to accomplishing more in less time. Why? Well, that's the 3 reasons that I'm going to get into here. What's the true value of a present moment perspective? Now we're getting into the meat and bones of this live. This is where I really lay out what it's like to live and operate from a present moment perspective. So I told you there's 3 reasons, right? Where's my title? Let me throw that up one more time real quick before we dive into this. Boom. 3 ways a present moment perspective empowers you to accomplish more in less time. 3 ways. Here we go. Ready? Number 1. Where's she at? Number 1. Where can I put this? I'll put it right underneath me. This is the first way that a present moment perspective can empower you to accomplish more in less time. Limited versus unlimited. When we operate from a present moment perspective, we're here now in the present moment. What does that mean? That means my full resources are available to me. From a present moment perspective, there is no impossible. There's just unknown. There's just possibility. It's very unlimited what you can create, accomplish, believe, decide from the present moment. From a present moment perspective, it's a very unlimited experience. The alternative to operating from a present moment perspective is to be a self. And a self is a collection of beliefs, ideas, judgments, thoughts, identities, you name it. It's a whole just rat's nest of limitations, because once we decide something, it's inherently limited. When I decide that this is a coffee cup, I have now limited this object and my experience of this object to a coffee cup. It can't be anything other than what I've defined it as. From a present moment perspective, I'm looking at an object. This object has size, shape, color, texture. Pretty cool. It's like handmade and stuff like that, right? And as long as I stay in that present moment perspective, let me point to it, boom, right? As long as I stay in that present moment perspective, not in the center of the car wreck, but out here in the present moment, then this can be anything I want it to be. And labeling it is not a necessity either from a present moment perspective. Labeling is a pastime of the mind. All it does is walk around in your head labeling stuff. Good, bad, good, bad. That's the simplest form of the labeling. Then it gets more complex, right? Then it starts to break it down, starts to dissect everything into smaller and smaller things and more labels and more complexity. And pretty soon you're in that car wreck in the center right there. You're not present anymore. And it's a very limited existence to live from this fleshy pile of neurons that stores our life experiences is a very limited existence. How do I know this? Because I've contrasted the two. I used to live in my head, and now I live out here in a present moment perspective. So I can clearly distinguish the difference and the benefits. You're going to have to give that to yourself by giving yourself a first-hand experience. I'm giving that away, by the way. So if you're on right now, pay attention, because there's a opportunity for you to win a free experience of a present moment perspective with me over the phone. All right, that's number one. The first way that a present moment perspective empowers you to accomplish more in less time is limited versus unlimited. Which one do you want to be? I know, it's a no-brainer question. Waka, waka, waka. No, not funny? I thought it was. Okie dokie. Let's get rid of that and talk about the second way. The second way a present moment perspective empowers you, me, and everybody to accomplish more in less time is an infinite well of resources. Okay, let's unpack this one. When I am operating from a present moment perspective out here, I'm less identified with my, I don't want to use the words I've used in the past that my mentor used, but they're great words anyway, so I will. Meat puppet, bag of bones. How about that one? That one hasn't been used a lot. So when you're operating from a present moment perspective, this bag of bones, this meat puppet, you're less identified with it and all of its inherent limitations like exhaustion, hunger, impatience, distraction, all that stuff. All of our problems are right here. That's right. You heard it from me first. Right here is where we store all this crap, this caca. This is the proverbial closet where all of our skeletons are. It's our body. But when we operate from a present moment perspective, we're less identified with this limiting thing. We're more identified with the unlimited nature of the present moment. I call this our true self, because when I'm here now, there ain't nothing I cannot do. That's not proper English. There isn't anything I can't accomplish, create, believe. The infinite possibilities in the present moment. So what happens is you stop using this thing. You stop becoming so dependent on your mind for all your answers and solutions. You start tapping into the field. It's called the unified field in quantum physics. The Akashic records, I think, is something they call it in Hinduism. Pretty much the simplest way to describe this without getting too complex is there's form and then there's space. In this space out here that seems to be empty, it's actually quite full. All you have to do is pull up an electron microscope and zoom into a portion of this space, and you'll see all sorts of molecules, atoms, all kinds of things in this seemingly empty space. So can we agree, and let me hear from you down below, that the space that surrounds us is actually quite full of information, opportunities, possibilities. I know you've had this experience before. I call it the bolt out of blue. I'm an Aquarius, and I often have the bolt out of blue experience. It's when you're not expecting the perfect answer and bam, it hits you at 2 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. Aha! Aha! That often doesn't precede it. What's the after? Proceed? It proceeds it. Aha! And it doesn't come from here. We don't really know where it comes from. Great ideas, great solutions, innovative solutions, cutting edge, evolutionary, original, never before seen. All of that comes from somewhere. I venture to say it comes from the space. And when you operate from a present moment perspective, you're connected to that space and all the resources that are available in that space. Creative ideas, creative solutions, a well of resources. Let's just keep it there because it is truly a well, infinite. The third way is hyper-focused and relaxed. What? Say that again. That's an oxymoron, isn't it? Hyper-focused and relaxed? Yes. My friends, it is possible to be fully focused and relaxed at the same time. Why do we know this? Because some of the greatest masters that have come before have tapped into this. They're a living embodiment of hyper-focused and relaxed. Take a look at the Shaolin monks in China. Take a look at Kung Fu, Bruce Lee, Tai Chi, you name it. All of these and the masters that created them, that trained people in them, they exhibited an ability to be hyper-focused and relaxed. So relaxed that, boom, anything could happen in a moment's notice. Another place that you can observe this phenomenon is in nature, especially cats. If anybody here is a cat lover, let me hear from you down below, because cats are great for learning about consciousness, because they're actually they're revered in Egypt as like gatekeepers to the afterlife. And bottom line, if you're observing a cat, and if you don't have a cat, turn on like a wild nature show and watch like the tigers or the jaguars or the cheetahs. Watch them hunting. They're hyper focused. And you might be able to feel my focus right now. Intensely hyper focused, but also very relaxed, very deliberate, very calm. So that the moment that they know that something is about to be dinner, they can pounce. Why is that? Because they don't live in their head. That's why. They're not sitting there thinking about the antelopes. They're not sitting there thinking about the gazelles or thinking about the last hunt that went horribly or the hunt before that that was wonderful, the best hunt ever that you'll never be able to duplicate. No, they're just here now. They're here now in the present moment. You want to learn a present moment perspective? Study animals. They live from a present moment perspective. Hyper-focused and relaxed, like a Kung Fu master. Would you like to have more of that in your life? Let me hear from you. Alrighty. Bonus time. What? You want a bonus benefit? I said 3 ways, but I have a 4th way that you just might get to hear today on this video. But I want to hear from you in the comments down below. Let me know if you want that bonus. Put a hashtag bonus and I will share it with you. The 4th way a present moment perspective empowers you to accomplish more in less time is, drum roll, come on, less accidents. That's right. If you took a moment to tally up the cost of accidents on a daily basis around the world, holy geez, you would be a gazillionaire, a trillionaire, right? That's what's next after a billionaire. Because so much money is wasted by companies, by individuals, by organizations that don't teach their staff to operate from a present moment perspective. I can do that for you. If you happen to be a business owner with a team, let's get in touch. Let's talk about how we can get your team to operate more from a present moment perspective so they create less accidents. Why am I talking about accidents? Because what's the number one thing you hear when an accident happens? Do, 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 do. Well, what's the one thing you hear when an accident happens? I wasn't paying attention and I lost my finger. I wasn't paying attention and I lost my arm. I wasn't paying attention and I lost my leg, my eye, you name it. Accidents happen because people aren't paying attention, simply put. I know this firsthand as a chef in the kitchen, personal private chef. The only time that I've ever burnt myself, cut myself, bruised myself, not so much. A lot of cutting and burning is what happens in the professional kitchen. The only time that ever happened was when I was distracted and not paying attention. Maybe the chef was calling my name, or there was a lot of diners in the dining room, or one of the servers was trying to get my attention. You name it, there was a distraction at play that had me not paying attention, and voila, cut, burn, you name it. On a much larger level, it can be very, very detrimental. Like, I don't even want to talk about it because, we speak things into existence, but Jesus, a nuclear power plant having a problem would be just awful, right? Simple solution: learning to operate from a present moment perspective. So there's your 4 ways that it benefits you on a very practical level. Let me see the comments here. Okay. Let's go. Thank you for joining me. I want to hear from you down below. Let me know what's happening in your world. If all of this is making sense to you, if it's sinking in, then I've done my job. At the end of the day, I really just want people to realize once and for all that they're not as limited as they believe they are, or they're not as limited as people tell them they are, and that there is an alternative. There are other possibilities to creating our reality besides the status quo, right? A lot of people are not going to university or college these days because it doesn't seem to be paying off that much. All right, what did I click here? Drop a hashtag. Oh, we're up to the prize part of this live video. Drop a hashtag #FoundFun down below to receive a personal follow-up message and gift from me attending. That's not what I wanted to share with you. Well, I shared it earlier, right? And I will remind you of it. Thanks for attending. I'm randomly giving away a free taste of a present moment perspective. And, I will also honor the replay people that come in within a certain amount of time. Obviously, I will do the drawing tomorrow. How's that sound? This weekend. I'll give you a couple days in case you catch this later and you put a hashtag replay down. Make sure you also put a hashtag #FoundFun. And this weekend, I will sift through the comments and I will pick out a winner that I'm going to give a free taste of a present moment perspective. It's a $250 value. So back to here. And to sum it all up, right? We got to sum it up. We got to get to the point. To sum it all up, when you catch yourself short on time, it simply means you're not being here now. Time is not real. It is man-made. I'm talking about the 12 hours, the 24 hours, the clocks, the 12 months, the 30 days. All that stuff is man-made. It's how we make sense of the present moment. We chop it up. Remember, the mind loves to dissect everything, likes to make it very easily managed in bite-sized portions, like minutes and seconds and hours and you name it. But at the end of the day, if I took your watch away and I took your phone away and I took all reference points to time away from you, you wouldn't be able to tell me exactly what time it is. You could maybe reference the sun, but then we're back to where our ancestors were. And that's a good place to be because you're connected to nature and the rhythms of nature, right? Reading the sun is not the same as reading a watch. You're in the rhythm. You're still connected to what's going on. You're not separate. You're not isolated from it. So if you want one of those, if you would like to have a taste of a present moment experience, put a hashtag found fun down below. I'll do the drawing this weekend and I will reach out to you with your prize. Thank you for attending. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. You give my life purpose by attending and watching and learning and growing. That is my goal. My goal is your success. My goal is your fulfillment. And if you feel challenged at fulfilling yourself, if you feel challenged at creating your reality, then get in touch with me. I will show you a process that will allow you to become the authority over your life, the author. It's your story. Start writing it yourself according to your preferences, according to your desires. You don't need to settle. That's an option. Catch me here every Thursday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless it's like today where it's at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because of all the tech gremlins and the bugs and technical difficulties I had getting going today. But next time will be much easier. I am also taking this chance to let you know that I am offering a new guide that I'm putting out. You want my free exclusive guide? You want my new exclusive free guide? Imposter syndrome. What is it? And how do I overcome it? A lot of experts and entrepreneurs out there run into this sooner or later in their career, in their evolution, in their growth. It's a very natural part of growing up to question or doubt your own value, your own experience, your own competence, all of that stuff. That all ties into imposter syndrome. If you would like to be one of the first people to receive a copy of my new exclusive free guide, Imposter Syndrome, what is it and how do I overcome it? Then I'm going to ask you to head on over, join the inner revolution at the foundfundiscoverymethod.com/inner circle. I'm just going to keep that scrolling up there for a moment or two. You can see that both of those are up there, right? Go to my website, my landing page, sign up for my emails, and I will send you out a copy of my new exclusive guide to imposter syndrome. What is it and how do I overcome it? Doesn't that sound cool? I haven't come across a lot of very practical solutions to imposter syndrome. Most people have the one strategy that we can all count on, and that's coping. It's right there in the word. Have you ever stopped to actually like look into that and feel into that? Coping. It's like I get the sense of like, you know how medicine has a nice, easy, shiny exterior so that it goes right down your throat when you have to take your medicine? That's coping. So it's not like you're doing anything but really making it palatable, I guess. Easy to digest, easy to consume. What if you could actually get into the core of whatever it was that was bothering you and shift it on a fundamental level to the point where it no longer exists? It's not even a conversation, not even a topic in your reality, because it's so fully integrated. All right, go sign up for my email list so you can get some exclusive offers, get my new guide, and a lot of other things. I treat my people really good. If you are in my inner circle, then you're on the top of my list. Excuse me. Remember, the fastest way to get to where you want in life is with a guide who's been there before you. Remember, to wrap this all up, hi, my name is Keith. I am a personal private chef by day, but my real true passion is to support experts and entrepreneurs making a difference in the world, to be more self-aware and operate from a present moment perspective so they can have more ease, personal power, fulfillment, and well-being. I'm getting good at this without getting defeated by the familiar struggles, curveballs, exhausting efforts, and unexpected delays that haunt most people's lives, most unaware people's lives every day. I do this using firsthand experience and my proprietary new spotting technique as part of the Found Fun Discovery method via intense, one-on-one, structured, regular practice sessions over the phone and or Zoom. The fastest way to get to where you want in life is with a guide who's been there before you. That concludes our live. So remember, when it comes to a present moment perspective, the main difference in that kind of existence is being, not doing. Most people do. Very few understand being, let alone employ it to create the results they desire in their life. That's where I come in. Shoot me a text. Let me know. A DM would be great too. Let's start a conversation. I'm passionate about this. I want to give away what it is that I have learned over thousands of hours of practice, 10 plus years of intense training as a former trainer in a different strategy. And even after that, my own personal practice daily. I endeavor to live in a present moment from a present moment perspective every moment that I can. And I am here to support you to do the same so that you can accomplish more in less time.